Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the Hanged Man. I think you're somebody who is has been making a lot of concessions, a lot of sacrifices, okay? And I think that with this card, I feel like you're sacrificing for a noble purpose, right? You're sacrificing maybe the immediate gratification for what is meaningful to you, a higher purpose, okay? I feel like you're willing to put in the hours necessary. You're willing to forego certain benefits or perks or luxuries now, certain pleasures now, because of a bigger picture, okay? Because of a more long-term goal, perhaps, or because you're in service to kind of a divine mission, okay? This card very much is kind of letting go and letting God in a way, right? We're sort of trusting in the process here. And I think this card is, it's kind of a voluntary submission to something, okay? So I want to see what you're doing with this energy. This is a very interesting way to begin a reading. I think that you're somebody who is, really has their ego in check. You know, I feel like Leo has this stereotype of being just a really big ego, you know? I think you have a very fortified ego. You're a very strong person. And the strength is shown in your ability to sacrifice. A weak person, you know, might say, just give me all the good stuff now. I don't care about the future. I just want to feel good in this moment, you know? As we all do, ultimately. But you have this inner strength about you that's saying, I know that what I'm doing now is worth it. And I know that what I'm sacrificing now and the hardships that I'm putting myself through are worth it for whatever reason. This is the card, this is the energy, the person that has laid down on the blacksmith's anvil and saying, I'm willing and ready to go through this process. Okay, I think you're being transformed through the process, but you're also in service to this higher principle. Let's see what's going on here with a little bit of context, all right? There we have a Knight of Wands. We have a 9 of Cups. Look at that beauty. We have a 4 of Pentacles. Very good. We have an 8 of Pentacles. And we have the Eon card. The Judgment, the rebirth, the reawakening, the baptism by fire, right? This is a sort of baptism by water. And this now, I think, is a transition from the Hanged Man phase into the next phase of this work for you, which I believe is the Hanged Man sort of rising up, becoming the fire dancer. And I think your suffering is over, to be very honest with you. I think that all of the sacrifice that you have been willing to endure is paying off. I think that it's time for things to turn around. I think Spirit is going to be lifting you up and saying you've paid your dues. You've sacrificed and suffered enough. Come with me into the future, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we see the High Priestess come out in this reading at some point. There we have the Moon card. We have, that's very nice too. We have a Queen of Wands. We have a 2 of Wands. And we have, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. What you love, the inner kind of drive in your soul here, this higher purpose, I feel, that this is something in your soul that you know is going to be good for you. There's a reason why you're enduring it. It is paying off. Look at that beautiful 9 of Pentacles. This is the card of profit and gain and success and all this, like, you know, really money is the obvious answer. A lot of money coming in. But it could be other types of long-term rewards. That's kind of the idea behind the Nine of Pentacles is that it's the long-term kind of long-term return on your investment. Okay, so it's something that's going to be in your life for a long time. It's not just the immediate gratification. You get an ice cream cone, you eat it, it's gone, right? This is like you're buying an ice cream factory. You know what I'm saying? So this is really a blessing of a reading here. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're going to set it over here with Alien, Simon, Mork, Ripley, right there on top. That was one of the first guardians of the mystery card that we ever had on this channel. And all of the guardians of the mystery card here that you see on the table, they were all gifted to me by my daughter. Actually, my wife got me Dwight Schrute and the Mechanical Owl. My daughter gave me all these other ones. I bought Tiny Bob Ross myself, but all the others were gifts from my daughter, from her toys and things that she has found and things that she has acquired over her 5 years of life. So anyway, we're not going to look at this card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below the video, okay? Let's do it together. Let's use this intuition. Yeah. As we look around the room, we do see some interesting things. Of course, we see our Hanged Man and our Aeon card, the Judgment. This is like the alarm clock. This is the spirit kind of blowing the trumpet in your face, saying it's time to get up. We're done with this suffering. It's time for you to reap the rewards. And so this is an awesome combination. We also have the Moon card here as your general energy, as the kind of objective view of things. You've been really in the dark, scary forest, okay? But the sun is about to rise for you. So it's another way of saying, Spirit is saying, it's time to get up, take my hand, let's rise, let's get out of this Hanged Man position. It's time for you to reap the rewards. It's daylight is about to be here. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, okay? You've got fire, fire, fire. We've got our water. Oh yeah, our water underneath here is really, really good. The Hanged Man is a watery energy too, mind you, right? It's kind of a pure water energy. Now I'm getting someone in your life, there's an initial M, someone with an M name. I don't know if it's older female energy still in your life with an M name. And I don't know who that person is or what they have to do with what you're doing now, but Spirit's referencing the M name, older female energy for someone out there, okay? So we've got our fire, we've got our water. We don't have any air, which, nice. I like it when we have a reading that is kind of, that we sort of, we've sucked all the air out of the room, right? And I think that's a good thing, because I think that too much of that air energy, the Swords cards, would be doubt, would be self-criticism, it would be distraction, it would be a mind that is kind of turning against itself. Right now, we don't have that. And I think that's a good thing, although to kind of play devil's advocate here, it could mean that we really haven't been criticizing ourselves enough, but I know that's probably not likely, right? I think we had a lot of air energy in previous readings for you, and now it's sort of gone because I think there's a unity. I think that you have a unified mind, and I feel that we're kind of like with the Hanged Man, we're easing into it. We've surrendered into it. We're not fighting against it mentally. You know what I mean? We're not complaining, we're not lamenting, we're not trying to figure a way to get out of this. We're just kind of, we've let it go, we've said, fine, this is what I'll endure. And you know what we get with that is peace of mind. Okay? Because I think that you are devoted to this higher purpose, this divine mission of yours, whatever it is. It could be a work thing, could be school, could be something at home, could be a relationship, could be a stamp collection, could be reading a book, it could be a business, whatever. It doesn't really matter what it is. What matters is why you're doing it and how you're doing it and how it's going to benefit you ultimately as we get through this. Yeah, so this is really, really good stuff here. The Knight of Wands in the battlefield position, it really is, there's something that's going to kind of arouse you or wake you up in the next, I'd say, few days, that it seems like it's time for us to jump up, leap into action, and start collecting some of these rewards. Okay, it's kind of like maybe we've been waiting for a long time. Maybe this has been a process of not doing anything because we're letting something kind of work. You know, it's kind of like you plant the seeds, you water it, and then you just kind of got to wait around for the stuff to grow. And you water it here and there, sure. And you make sure it doesn't, you know, no animals get to it or the rains don't wash your tomatoes away. But basically, you just kind of let it go and let it grow. This is now that moment where you're being called upon to jump up, leap into action, and harvest something, to reap that reward, to collect something, okay? So I think very soon we're going to get that prompting. And I think the Hanged Man is like trying to figure out when is the right time for action. This is like the sleeping dragon, you know, it's like, when do I act? When do I leap into action? How long do I wait? When is the right time for me to just bam, go get it? You know? So I feel like there's something here where we're just trying to be as patient and as careful as possible. But the time is now at hand for you to rise up and leap into action and take some steps, okay? So this is really, we're going from this kind of passive waiting, just enduring the time, water energy, to this very active fire energy. This is an Aries energy. It's fire on fire. It's no thought. We're not pausing to think, oh, I don't know, is this the right time to do it? Should I go? Should I stay? Oh, I don't know what to do. No, as soon as we feel that prompting, that impulse inside of us, we're leaping into action. See, the horse and the rider have to be one unit. We don't want to put space. You don't want to have space in between the horse and the rider. You want to be like molded to that horse, you know, where it's like the two of you are just like symbiotic, just like one, you know, kind of a spiritual meld of energies. Okay, and that's our instinct. That's our impulse. That's our creative fire. That's our force. That is the intuition, the prompting of spirit, whatever you want to call it. We're trusting in that, and we're leaping forward. See, if the horse doesn't trust the rider, or the rider doesn't trust the horse, I guarantee you're going to fall down. Or we're going to miss the moment. We're going to hesitate before leaping over the hedge, and then we're going to get scared, and we're going to get hurt. So when you feel this energy, when it comes to you, this moment that says act, we get up and we do it, okay, right away. I wonder if the mystery card now could be a tower card, right? Because it could be that kind of lightning strike that just says, go, now. Suddenly a green light happens and we're off, okay? So it feels like something may shake you awake. Something in life is going to stimulate you to action. There's going to be either a dream or a synchronicity or, you know, some kind of, it really feels like an alarm clock is going off around you. And that's when you know it's time. It's kind of like, you know, you're cooking something in the oven and you set your timer and you're just going to go and lay on the couch and relax a little while, watch some TV, right? Put your feet up, yeah. And not worry about what's in the oven. And then when that timer goes off, you're not like, oh, I don't know. Should I get it out of the oven or should I not? Maybe I should leave it in there a little while, right? Did I do everything right? Or what if I take it out of the oven and it's terrible? No, you don't go through all those thoughts, right? You leap up, you run to the oven, you get your oven mitts, you take it out carefully, and you know it's ready. That's the energy right now, okay? That's the energy right now. Spirit's saying something about growing aloe vera plants. For somebody out there, the aloe vera, it seems like it's in like kind of one of those white ceramic pots. Yeah, check on your aloe vera. I used to love growing aloe vera when I was a kid. My parents always had it in the backyard. But anyway, this is what is at hand right now, is going to be this moment where you hear that alarm clock and you have to just leap up and go into action. Don't hesitate, okay? Trust the timing. When you hear the timer go off, however it comes to you, and you'll know, it'll be obvious, right? When you hear the timer go off, we leap up and we act, okay? The Nine of Cups underneath the surface here, you're somebody that's really full of love. Yeah, I mean, you've got such a devotion in you. And I think you're a very optimistic person. I think is another kind of explanation for the lack of swords cards here. You're not an overthinker right now. You're a lover. You are an optimist. You have such gratitude in you. You're overflowing with abundance. And this to me feels like inside of you there is this deeper sense of purpose. There's a deeper happiness, even though with that Hanged Man it feels like I'm suffering, I'm waiting, I've made sacrifices. But it kind of is, it feels good. because we know that we're sacrificing for something bigger than we are, something more long-term than just what would taste good right now, you know? And I feel that you're a very generous person, right? With everything, with your energy. I think you're always finding ways to share your happiness and your joy with other people. This is a card of abundance on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes, right? It's a 3 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 3 of Cups. Every dimension of your life is going to benefit from what you're doing right now, whatever this is. Whether you're in school, maybe you're retired, maybe this is some kind of an art project, I don't know. Maybe you're baking something in the oven. It's going to be rewarding and abundant in every dimension, on every plane of your life, okay? You're somebody who really feels good to share with others. It feels good to give gifts to other people. It feels good to make those connections with other people, okay? And I think that no matter what you are doing right now, everything's interconnected. So for instance, if this is a spiritual project or a spiritual quest that you've been on, it's having positive effects on your physical health and your financial life. If this is a work thing, right, that we're kind of suffering and sacrificing for, if it's like a financial investment, like literally, the work that you're doing, the process you've been going through, is benefiting you spiritually and creatively too. Everything is connected. If this is a relationship, it's an emotional, it's a love connection with somebody, that is having a benefit on the spiritual plane and on your physical health and your financial health. See, everything, it's win-win-win all the way around. Everything is connected with everything here for you. So that feels like there's a deep sense of purpose. And I think that if you are in that hanged man position now, feeling like we've been giving a lot to this, I've been investing, maybe this is a job or something that you've been putting in a lot of hours and you've really been suffering, you haven't been sleeping as much, and you've just been giving and giving and giving, it's going to pay off dividends, right? Exponential dividends here that are going to benefit you and and fulfill you, I think, on every plane. Does that make sense for you? The joy of your life is to do your will right now. Okay, so I think that there is this underlying happiness because you know that you're suffering and sacrificing for the right reasons, for the right purpose. Everything has a deep sense of meaning and significance to you. And we're all going to suffer, right? What did the Buddha say? Existence is suffering. Yeah. Of course, suffering is caused by craving and that sort of thing, desire, right? And we can't avoid that. So we're going to suffer no matter what. The idea here is what are we sacrificing for? What am I willing to suffer for? And yes, maybe it's because I want this long-term goal or this larger outcome or this higher purpose. I think that gives meaning and significance to life. It makes our suffering kind of have a purpose to it rather than just suffering for the sake of suffering. We're suffering because of something that we feel is a worthwhile cause. Whether it's a job thing, a career, a family thing, a relationship, it doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you feel like it's worth it. Yeah. I feel like there's a real joy in you right now. Real joy. And, you've got the 4 of Pentacles in the background. I think that this is you leaving home, in a sense. Okay, I think that this was your investment, really. This was your kind of, your choice to take what you had already built in life and apply it towards something greater, okay? Because this feels, as a 4 of Pentacles, this feels like kind of a safe, structured place. It's kind of a safe zone. It's kind of like we're walled up in our castle here. And so I feel like this was our initial resources or some sort of means. This was let's say the money that I had to invest. This is what I had to my name that I could put into this, right? This is your time, effort, energy, and or money, right? Those 4 components. So this is what you had to invest. Okay, and it kind of seems like the hanged man is willing to give the shirt right off their back for something. And so this is everything that you had before that you could have kept. Now, I don't just mean financially. I mean, spiritually, creatively, this is your time, effort, energy, and money. And you could have kept it all to yourself and said, no, I refuse that. And we could have stayed here where it was safe. But see, you journeyed away from this safe place, and you decided to submit to this higher purpose. You decided to invest everything that you had into something. And I think it's really going to pay off. Now, it was obviously a risk. Okay, but that's what investments are. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't a financial reading, right? But the investment idea of this time, effort, energy, and or money, we at first experience it as a loss. I had this. I put it into a business. Now I don't have it anymore. But I have a stake in that business or in that person or in that, the job maybe, or the ice cream factory, right? Now I own a piece of that ice cream factory. I've willfully, intentionally put everything that I've had, that I have acquired in life till now, I've put it all into that. And now, and now it seems that we've endured being without this. This is safety, perhaps. This is a safety net. This is that safe, like I said, the safe zone, the safe place that we might have. And it's kind of like we could have stayed home, but you decided to take a risk. Yeah. This is a card of habits. This is a card of routine. Okay. And to me, this is kind of a way of saying if we always did what we always did, we'll always get what we always get. And so we aspire to something more. See, the Nine of Pentacles is a lot of progress, whereas this is stagnant. There's only a certain amount that I can reach, and this is it. There's some sort of a cap. There's a limit. And this was the safe place in life, kind of symbolically, metaphorically speaking, maybe literally too. It's kind of like saying I can keep my $5 now and just make it last, really budget that $5 and make it work, which safe kind of bet there. Or I can, try to put that into something else that may help me. I take that $5, maybe I buy a new pair of shoes or whatever, right? To go and do, to go and do that new work or something, right? Or I take that $5, I buy the ticket to go to that big event that, that might lead to some opportunities or something like that. Okay? Kind of investing it in ourselves in a way, right? But investing it in that higher purpose. So this is also, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and creatively playing it safe. Okay? And I think that what you did was you said, I'm not going to play it safe. I'm going to invest in this project, in this person, in this company. I'm going to invest in this place. I'm going to invest in this higher purpose that I feel like is worth it. And even if I put all this effort, time, effort, energy, and or money into it, and I don't get anything back, I still feel like it was a worthwhile attempt. And that's kind of the, that's kind of the question that we asked ourselves here. If you put everything you have into this and it was just gone, would you still feel like it was worth it? Let's say you invest a lot of time into a new love relationship. And eventually that relationship, you put everything you have into it, and then you guys eventually break up in a few months or whatever. Would you still feel like, yeah, it was worth it still? Okay. That's kind of how we know that this is something that, and we don't want it to just go away. I don't want to put all my money into something and then have it just poof, it's gone, right? So the sense of that higher purpose is what's drawing us out of this safe zone and saying it's worth it. It's worth the suffering. It's worth the sacrifice. And I'm hoping and praying and working hard that it's going to be returned to me, that it's going to succeed. But even if it doesn't, it was a worthwhile cause, and I have no regrets. Okay? Now, up above you, you have the Eight of Pentacles. You are, by nature, a rather prudent and careful and cautious person. You're very generous with your time and effort and energy and money. You really want to connect with people. But, when it comes to the major things in life, I think that you tend to play it rather safe. So to me, it feels like if you're making this big investment that you've made, if you're really willing to sort of suffer and sacrifice for something, you didn't just jump into it with no forethought. So I think a lot of swords came before this reading, yeah, because I think that you really considered all the different options and all the different viewpoints. This is a card of, again, prudence, paying attention to the details, trying to understand exactly what it's going to take, and what it really is. It's going to be a challenge, we're going to have to endure for a while before the thing comes back to us. And maybe this didn't happen so consciously. Maybe we're in that hangman position. We just feel like, I've been suffering for a long time. When's it going to end? Right? Spirit's saying it is going to end, because you're not somebody who only focuses on the fruit, right? The fruit of this tree. We see a lot of fruit on there, right? A lot of apples on the tree. But you're not just focused on the apples of the tree. You understand how those apples have to grow, and you appreciate the tree and the soil and the water and the sunlight and the love that went into creating those apples. And even if you never got an apple, you did all this work to tend to the tree, but then you didn't get to eat any of the apples. For you, it would still feel like it was worth it. It was worth it because of that experience, because of how I am growing through this process. So we said that the hangman is on the blacksmith's anvil, getting sort of punished by life, getting hammered by life. It's molding us and shaping us into who we're meant to become. This is that growth. Of course, we want the external growth to correspond to the internal growth. I don't just want to grow as a person. I want my bank account to grow too. I want my relationships to grow too. I want my creative expression to grow too. I want the business, to also grow. Whatever this is for you, right? We're not just tending the internal garden. We want the external garden to flourish as well. And this is the card that is saying it's more likely that the external garden will flourish if you appreciate the entire process. And I don't just want the apples, and I'm just trying to rush through and hurry up and get the apples because I'm hungry and I want to eat an apple. I understand the process of how to grow the apples, how to take it from a little apple seed, and how really to appreciate the sprouting, to appreciate the root system, to appreciate the trunk that grows and how to care for that part of it. You're spending all this time tending to this young apple tree, but you're not eating any apples. You're investing your time, effort, energy, and money and water, right? You're putting in a lot of stuff for that apple tree and thinking, one day I'll get to have an apple. It's not about the apple. The apple will be very good, but we're not even thinking about the apple. It's like, I know eventually I'm going to eat some apples, but if it was really about the apple, I would just go buy an apple at the store. This is about the process of tending to something. So I feel like you're very connected with the process of life. It's not just about the rewards. It's not just about the fruit for you. You like getting your hands dirty. You like connecting with the process of doing something. You like to understand. You like to love. You like to give your nourishment and see something flourish. Yeah, I think it is. Because what we see in the future position is the Eon card, judgment, rebirth, reawakening, a baptism by fire. You're emerging from the depths of this hanged man energy. Spirit is saying, go through this doorway. Go quickly, because this is a big shift, and this is your whole life's changing. And this is saying act now. Okay, let's do a divine doorway oracle card, because we have two divine doorways. We'll get to the moon card here in just a second. But the Eon card is that doorway that we have to choose to walk through. And it's basically, this is us opening up the oven and reaching in the oven and pulling out the bread that we've been baking, or the apple pie, or whatever it is you got in there, right? Freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine sacred reason. So that's saying that you can desire the fruits of life. You can want material success, but you're doing it for the right reasons, right? And so we have that here. We have a 9 of Pentacles, material success. We have a 9 of Cups. This is spiritual success. This is joy and happiness. This is physical financial abundance, or health even, right? The earth energy. So the worldly success is achievable for you because you have this sacred reason. You have this purpose, this sense of love and joy and purpose, the optimism, the hope, and the generosity of spirit. Because this is purposeful. This means something to you. And because it means something to you, what means something is the process. The outcome is pretty much guaranteed because you have these two. You can't hold yourself back, and that's a reference to our Knight of Wands here. Don't hold yourself back. When the timer goes off, when you get that impulse, that signal from Spirit, that it's time, when that trumpet's sounding in your life, it's time to go through that doorway, open up the oven, grab your bread, and take it out. Okay? Trust that you did the process right, that everything happens at the right time, and that the divine timing and your calculations have kind of, corresponded and synced up. And when that timer goes off, you can be sure that your bread or your apple pie is done. Yeah. And so the Eon card is us going through that door, making the choice, not hesitating, not turning the little light on in the oven and looking in and saying, I don't know if it's done. I don't know if it's done. It's overcooking the longer we procrastinate. So don't procrastinate. Don't hesitate. Leap into it. Don't hold yourself back from going through this doorway, because what's on the other side of this is a whole different kind of life for you, okay? This is a big, big deal. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Your general energy is the moon card. This is kind of a little bit of fear. This is like, I'm scared. I'm in the dark, scary forest. I'm here in this hanged man position. And it's like my eyes are closed. I can't see anything. I can't hear anything. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared and I'm uncertain. I think this takes a lot of guts to admit that. It's like I'm suffering and sacrificing for something, but I don't know what's on the other side of the doorway. This is us saying, when I reach into that oven, I don't know if my apple pie is going to be burned or undercooked and still raw. The dough is raw, and the apples are still real crunchy, I do love apple pie. I love all kind of pies. I love pie more than cake, yeah? Let me know in the comments, are you a cake person or a pie person? That's interesting information for me. Anyway, the moon card is a doorway as well. And what it's saying is that the sun is just about to rise. So it's saying that the dark night that you've been experiencing, the suffering and sacrificing that you've been enduring for whatever this is, a relationship, just for life in general, something financial or physical suffering even, is about to end. The sun is about to rise on that dark night, and everything will be illuminated. It will be joy. It will be celebration. I'm so happy about this. But this shows that, yeah, we've been uncertain. Maybe we've been in that hanged man position for so long that it's kind of like, I don't know if it's ever going to be done. I've been waiting for that timer forever, and I don't know when it's going to finally ding, and I'll be able to jump up and get the pie out of the oven. It's nigh at hand. Okay, it's nigh at hand. And it's going to be glorious. And you've endured this fear, this darkness, this suffering, and the kind of, it's been a bit of a nightmare. This is that card that's saying, like, as your general energy, it's saying this has been a rough period of time. Yeah. It's about to end. We're on the threshold of a major life change now. Something is just about to be revealed in your life. It will be illuminating, and it will change everything. Okay. Now, in your environment, we do have a Queen of Wands. I do feel that there is an older female energy in your life, letter M for their name. I don't know who that person is. I kind of feel like it's a grandmother energy, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, and I don't know what their significance is in your life right now. The Queen of Wands, on the other hand, is also talking about your about the past and about how you end things. The queens of the tarot are always like kind of reflecting on an ending, or they show how we process something ending. Okay, this is an ending that is a clean break. It is and to me it feels like that we have both of them, right? The Queen and the Knight of Wands. So the Knights are about beginnings, the Queens are about endings, and to me this feels like an urgent, a very fast, a very energetic transition from what was before to what's next. Okay? This is almost an instantaneous transition. When that bell rings right? You're immediately off the couch and you're immediately opening the oven. It's like they happen simultaneously. Because the Queen of Wands doesn't like to linger in an ending, doesn't like to stretch it out, doesn't like to draw things out. We're not just like, kind of the time of the alarm goes off and we're just sort of stretching in bed and we're just like yawning and we're just like kind of staring at the ceiling a little bit and like scratching our neck and just sort of thinking about things. No, the alarm clock goes off and you're just like done with the bed. I'm out of bed, the period of sleep, the nighttime is over, boom, it's daytime. We don't linger. I feel that's kind of like that's your energy right now. Yeah. But this is happening in your environment and in your relationships. So I don't know if there is some type of relationship that is that ended very quickly for you, or that we feel as if we didn't really have time to linger in the emotions of something that something happened very quickly, and suddenly now there's this whole other like task before us. So we never had time to process the feelings of the ending. Okay, because again, this is like a clean break, happens very fast, maybe very abruptly. Something happened very abruptly, and we didn't have time to process the feelings because there was so much work to do moving forward, yeah? And so I don't know if this has anything to do with this suffering that we've been in now, or the sacrifices that we've been making. It could be related to this older female energy. Maybe they departed the physical plane and passed into spirit very quickly or abruptly, okay? And so I think Spirit's kind of saying, like, at some point, we need to make sure we take our time to experience this, to make sure that we have the closure that we need. Of course, looking at the Hanged Man in this situation, it could be related, okay? For some of you, this might be the process that you're in now, the suffering and sacrificing because of a very abrupt ending to a situation or to a relationship. And we've been suffering and sacrificing in this process for a long time. And maybe Spirit now is saying that, look, there is a new doorway that's appearing before you, and we have to very quickly and energetically go through this doorway. Okay, so some of you have been lingering in these emotions a long time, and because of an abrupt ending, now it's kind of time to abruptly begin something new, right? To go straight through this doorway in and not to hold yourself back, and not to hesitate moving forward. Okay, and so I know that's kind of two contradictory interpretations, but I am feeling that for some of you, it happened too abruptly, and we didn't have enough time to feel it. Okay. And so that might be something to at least consider as we move forward. The Two of Wands in the position of your fear, worry, and concern, it's position 9. It's the Spectre, and it represents our anxieties. And this is a Mars in Aries. We don't want to hesitate. We want to leap up off the couch and we want to jump through this doorway. We want to very quickly and immediately open the oven and pull the apple pie out. We don't want to leave it in there too long, right? I think that this is a little bit of your anxiety that's kind of pushing you back a little bit, saying, whoa, wait. Okay, I think there is maybe there's an over-eagerness right now. Maybe we're starting to get a little bit anxious, and we're kind of like, we're not going to wait for the timer. We're just going to go and do it and open the door and get the apple pie out. Okay, this might be a little bit of the big red X, the kind of big stop sign, Spirit saying, no, wait a minute, not yet. As we still have 5, 4, 3, like you're trying to jump the gun a little bit. It may be that we're starting to feel a little bit impulsive, a little bit antsy, kind of got the jazz hands, we're kind of tap dancing on the shag carpet, and we just wanted to hurry up. Like we know it's getting close, we can smell the apple pie in the living room, and we're just like, I'm just gonna go take it out of the oven now. So Spirit doesn't want us to be hasty. We don't want to hesitate. We don't want to hold ourselves back. We don't want to be late. We don't want to let it burn, but we don't want to take it out early either. So it's kind of like, let's maintain this, let's just stay on the couch, let's relax. The alarm clock it's kind of like when, you know your alarm's set for like 6 in the morning, but then it's like 5 or 5:30 and you're kind of awake and you kind of look at your watch, you're like, oh, my alarm's going to go off any minute now. And you start getting anxious. And you start just kind of getting a little restless, and you're just like, well, I'm just going to get up now, right? Rather than we could have just stayed asleep and stayed relaxed and then just enjoyed that last 30 minutes, and then the alarm goes off and we spring out of bed and we're ready to go. So this is, I think that this is some of that, a little bit of that internal turmoil, right? Because on the other hand, this card is kind of a card of domination. So it's also this idea that, you have this injunction to, when that alarm goes off, to just leap up and get into it and do the thing. But it's kind of like we've been in that hanged man position for so long that we are holding ourselves back a little bit. We're sort of afraid of being too ambitious or too eager or too aggressive, right? So we are in that kind of anxious state where it's like, I want to just hurry up and do this, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried that, like, I've been in that hanged man position for so long that I don't want to come off as too enthusiastic or like overzealous or like overeager either, okay? So it's kind of like getting the timing just right and being confident and assertive, but also being humble, having that humility, right? But I think that we've been suffering and sacrificing for so long in that hanged man position that this is kind of a rebound in the opposite direction. That now, instead of just suffering and sacrificing and giving, this is like, I just want to take. We're trying to stay kind of even-keeled here, right? Now, the crowning glory is that 9 of Pentacles at the end. This is the sign of progress. This is the work. This is the abundance coming in. This is the physical rewards on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. This is something that I think is happening on the physical plane. It's either health or it's an accumulation of wealth. It's some kind of money coming in. It's the success in the physical realm of whatever this is for you that is going to have tremendous effects on your emotional life, your mental life, your relationships, your creative energies, and your spiritual life. Everything's going to benefit from this. So this is kind of the wish. This is the wish being fulfilled. This is kind of like, I'm dreaming of this. This is my hope. I'm optimistic that this is going to be abundance on every plane. And here is that exact corresponding materialization of that wish. 9 and 9. 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. The pentacles are the outward form, the structure, the materialization of this sense of purpose and this love and this abundance and this deep joy. This water energy needs a vessel. The earth energy, the pentacles, are the vessel. Okay? And so to have both the water and the earth is amazing. Without the earth, this is just a dream. Without the water, this is just an empty shell. It's success with no deeper meaning to it. You've got both. And it's a 9. And so to me, that feels like it's an ongoing thing. It's something that is going to give and give and give. It's not just a one and done, lump sum, kind of one good day vibe. No, this is something that is going to continue into the future for you. Okay? So this suffering and sacrifice is giving way to a long-term benefit, a long-term, something long-term that's going to keep giving back to you. Okay? Both in that sense of purpose and joy and higher, meaning and satisfaction, and also in the physical life. Okay? Extraordinary. Not very often we get both of those. I think this is life-changing. Let's look at our mystery card. This is position 11, and this is the guide. Represents the voice of the silence within you. What does your soul want you to know? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Remember, we need to use our intuition here. I feel like it's going to be some card of balance. It's going to be the art or temperance card. It's going to be the adjustment card, the Libra energy. It's going to be the lovers. It's going to be a 6 of something. I think a 6 of wands would be fine right now. Be perfect. So let's see what we have. Oh, the world. Yeah, the world. Being in perfect harmony with the world. You're not being too forceful or too aggressive. You're not being too passive. Right? We've been in that hanged man position, and now we're emerging from that with action and activity. It's going from a very intense yin energy to a very intense yang energy. Okay, but we're sort of I feel like we're tempering some of that yang energy. We're not letting it get out of control, or we're not trying to be domineering or dominating or aggressive or anything like that. But we are reaping the rewards. We are sort of taking the fruit that's ours. We're accepting, right? We're not holding ourselves back from worldly freedom. We've dreamed grand things for a divine, sacred reason, and now that those grand things are here, you're taking them because it's the right thing to do. Okay, you're engaging with them, you're claiming them. I would claim this reward now. The universe card is a card of completion, but it's also a card of time. It's also a card of freedom, right? There's a Saturn energy here, which is kind of the removal of boundaries here, the removal of restrictions. It's kind of like saying the universe is yours, the world is yours. You have this freedom now to move about the world as you see fit, as your spirit guides you. So I think there is financial freedom here. I think this is the completion of a life's work, the completion of a great work, a magnum opus, the alleviation of all of this suffering. Okay. This is the completion of the quest. In the fool's journey, it's sort of it's the omega, right? The fool to the world, right? The beginning and the end. This is the end of this suffering. It's the beginning of a new day for you. I think you have found your place in the universe. I think that you're fitting in exactly where you're supposed to be. And I think it's going to be really, really glorious. I think you're going to continue to flourish from here forward. I'm very excited about this. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner, and there's a link down below. New readings for Leo on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.